And so when it comes to group policy, you have what's called group policy objects. And within these objects, you can create the actual settings that you want to push to the computers in your domain or to the users in your domain. So if we click on default domain policy here and we look over to the right, we can say, hey, what domain is this default domain policy, GPO? What is it affecting? And it says here that we are linked to the cyberdarsh.com domain. And what this is essentially telling us is that anything within the cyberdarsh.com domain, the settings in this default domain policy GPO will be affected by this GPO. And you can also see it that if we click here to cyberdarsh.com, on the right hand side, it'll say under linked group policy objects, you have default domain policy. And the cool thing is when we're looking at group policy management, it's already showing us those OUs that we created in previous videos in our domain structure, right? So I can expand departments, right? If I go over to Active Directory, right? This is Active Directory. I have departments here. I have the engineering department, the finance, the HR, and then nested OUs within HR, computers, users, and then I have IT. If we go back to our group policy management, you can see that those same OUs are here. But right now, I don't have any unique GPOs tied to these specific OUs, right? If I click on HR, I don't have anything affecting computers specifically. I don't have anything specifically affecting users. However, no matter what OU we click on here, if we go to the right, if we look at this section right here, group policy inheritance, what is that telling us? That, hey, the default domain policy is affecting anything within this OU as well, because everything here is inheriting the configurations from the default domain policy GPO. Now, guys, GPO can get very confusing because you have orders of precedence, right? Different GPOs can take priority. You can enable the enforcement flag that says, hey, I don't care if there's another conflicting GPO up there, you are getting my configurations. And then you have things like link order that enforce the priority in which a GPO setting is affected. So if you have one GPO at a higher level, right, this default domain policy, and it's implementing, let's say, a password policy. Let's say it's saying every account has to have 14 minimum characters in their password. If that setting is applied at the default domain policy,